honeybees. It is Flora, and today I was feeling I don't know. I've been missing World of Warcraft, I guess, and so I decided, for old time's sake, why not rank all the playable races in the game in a silly little tier maker list, just for fun and because I felt like doing a tier list video today. Um, I will say this is going to be based pretty much purely on my aesthetic preferences, uh, because I don't remember what everyone's like special racial ability is anyway. And aside from that, none of you can tell me that I'm wrong, because I know for a fact that none of you play World of Warcraft. So, that's that. For the tiers themselves, I named them all after dungeons to keep on the theme. So the top tier, the best tier, is Shadowfang Keep. I just really like that dungeon and the whole Silver Pine Forest area. 10 out of 10 vibes. It's so pretty. I love, you know, werewolves and that kind of stuff. And I remember going through that particular dungeon with my dad and just having a grand old time. So it's the top tier. The next highest tier is the Dead Mines. I've always liked the Dead Mines. Before they did that update with level scaling and you couldn't solo dungeons anymore, really. Whenever I was just feeling in a silly, goofy mood and wanted to do a dungeon, the Dead Mines was usually where I would go and just, run through it real quick, just for fun. So, that's the next best tier. In the middle, we have Scarlet Halls. I don't know why. But something about it just, yeah. That's the mid tier. Solid dungeon. You can tame a cool mastiff dog in there from the Houndmaster boss, and that's pretty cool. So Scarlet Halls, solid dungeon, mid tier. Then for the almost bottom tier, we have the Stockade, and I know one of the bosses in the Stockade is particularly iconic as a meme, but I'm sorry, the Stockade is just kind of boring. At least from what I remember. I never was particularly attached to that dungeon. And finally, the bottom tier, worst tier, is Blackrock Spire, because my sense of direction is awful and I hate any dungeon that has too big of a map because I get lost, and Blackrock Spire I get lost in. So it gets the bottom tier. I'm sorry, Blackrock Spire fans. And with that, I think we can just get started on the actual tiers. So, I'll probably mostly rank the male and female designs in the same tier, I'm imagining. But there may be some exceptions, and I think the troll is their first exception because I like the trolls. I think they're a solid, like, Dead Mines tier, the male ones. But I feel like the female trolls are just kind of okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I do like the trolls' accents, though. They're very cute. Blood Elves. Blood Elves are top tier, 100%. Either gender. It doesn't matter. Blood Elves are pretty. I like Blood Elves. Very much. I'm not sure if it's my very favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorite races. I've played a lot of Blood Elves. And then we have Goblins, which, I was gonna put them in the top tier, but I'm actually not sure. I think I'll put them both in the Dead Mines, because I do really like the Goblins. I like their little island that you do the starter quests on. I think they have some of the funniest dialogue in the entire game. Um, Helping out the Gob Squad in I forget the name. I completely forget the name, but helping up the Gob Squad in the swampy area of where the other trolls live was very fun. I like them. So goblins definitely go up there in tiers. Then we have the Pandaren, which I mean, they're very cute. I have no complaints about them. Really, I think the female pandas are solid dead mines, and the male pandas are kind of mid. So Scarlet Halls for them. But the Pandaren, very cute. The Dark Iron Dwarves. The Dark Iron Dwarves are kind of mid. I mean, they are cool. I'm just not that attached to them, I guess. So they can both go in Scarlet Halls. I haven't really played one much yet. The Coultier Inhumans. The Stockade for both of you. I haven't gotten to... I haven't played one before. But I do know I wasn't crazy about when they kind of redesigned the human models, so... maybe that's just bias kicking in, I don't know. Lightforged Draenei. And I think the regular Draenei are prettier. But I will give the Dead Mines to the female Draenei and Scarlet Halls to the male Lightforged Draenei. Void Elves! If you can't tell by what happened with Blood Elves, yeah, Void Elves. Void Elves are top tier. Adorable. I love them. High Mountain Tauren. I actually really like High Mountain Tauren, almost purely for the horns. And I think that alone is enough to get them into Shadowfang Keep. Honestly. I don't remember how you pronounce the name of these orcs. I have never been a huge fan of orcs. But they're alright, they're alright. That being said, I think they're both just gonna go in the Stockade. Humans. I have played a lot of human characters, but, like, I feel like they just are, like, the most mid-tier race you could possibly pick. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I said, I've played it a lot. Just... it's a human that literally, in a fantasy MMO, it's literally the most, you know, basic, vanilla, mid-tier race you could pick, which is fine. But that means it gets Scarlet Halls here. These are some kind of elf. But, honestly, Nightborn, I think it is Nightborn. Honestly, I like their fancy cat mount, but other than that, I'm gonna have to say Blackrock Spire. I do not care for the Nightborn elves nearly as much as any of the others. I'm not sure why. Zandalari? Is that right? I don't remember. Troll names are hard to pronounce. But I like both of them quite a bit. I'll be generous. I'll give them Dead Mines tier. Why not? Dwarves. mean, I like the dwarves. I think that's fair. It's a fair assessment. I like the fluffy beards on the male dwarves, which is why they rank a little higher. That's all. I love their accents too in the game. Which you probably don't even know what I'm talking about, because like I said, none of you have played World of Warcraft, I don't think. The dwarves sound very like Scottish. And it's very cute. Night elves. I like night elves. I think it's fair to put them both in dead mines. I like the blood elf model better, which is why void elves, even though they're newer, and apparently I wasn't crazy about most of the newer races. That's why the void elves rank up so high, is because they have the same model as the blood elves, and I love blood elves. So that is that. Gnomes are cute. I think they're gonna get... You know what, they can get dead mines too. Why not? Gnomes are cute. Draenei! Regular Draenei are top tier. No questions asked. They are so pretty. I love their horns and their little tails. Awesome. 10 out of 10. I want Draenei to be in something that isn't just World of Warcraft. I miss them. Worgen, also top tier. No questions asked. I love I love werewolves. I used to read this blog called Rare Spawns, because my main was a hunter, and so I was always hunting for, rare pets to tame. I've never had the patience for shiny hunting in Pokemon, but that I would do. I camped out for several hours one night to tame this rare bear, but that is neither here nor there today. And apparently some people didn't love the Worgen designs. They called them like fluffy kitten style werewolves, which on one hand I do kind of get, but on the other hand, I'm a wolf girl. Professor Lupin was always my favorite Harry Potter Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. The wolf was my main go-to avatar whenever I played Animal Jam. I am a wolf girl. There is no universe where you were gonna introduce an update that's like, hey, teenage kid, you can play as a werewolf now, and I was not gonna be absolutely delighted with it. And I was absolutely delighted with it. So werewolves are top tier, and that is that. And then orcs. Stockade, like the other kind of orc. I have no particularly strong feelings about them. They're orcs. They're a classic, and they're here for a reason. Just not my favorite because, as you can see, I like the prettier fluffy things. And then we have the Forsaken zombies. Yes, you can be a zombie in World of Warcraft. If you didn't know that. And honestly, I'm gonna give them dead mines because the Forsaken are delightful. Honestly, considering they're like, undead and outcast even from their own faction, the Forsaken have a delightful sense of humor about the fact that they're undead. I adore it. They're wonderful. And then we have Tauren. Just regular Tauren. Kind of an anticlimactic note to end on, but honestly, Scarlet Halls. I do like the fluffy cow people, but I like the moose antlers a little bit more. So, mid-tier for that. Although I do like the Tauren starting area quite a bit. It's pretty nice. Mulgore is very pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah. Another reason Worgen are top tier. They have like the best starter quest area and line in the game. That isn't just choosing to be Death Knight class. So They also got that going for them as well. But anyway, yeah, I think that's about this. This is my tier list of the World of Warcraft playable races. I would tell you to give me your thoughts in the comments, but I'm pretty sure the only viewer who watches me who has actually ever played World of Warcraft is my dad. So if you do have any comments or questions, leave them down below, but it's also okay if you don't, because you're just sitting there like, what did I just listen to Flora ramble about for an hour? Wow, there's a lizard on my window. Hello, lizard, what are you doing up there? Anyway, yeah, this was just purely because I was in a silly, goofy mood and feeling nostalgic, and I wanted to ramble to you about World of Warcraft in some capacity, so I figured what better way to do that than a silly little tier list where I rank all the playable characters and continue to avoid beating the furry allegations, considering how high I put all the animal species. But, whatever, there we go. I'm rambling. I am in a weird mood this morning. I slept fine. I don't know if I'm tired or what, but, I'm gonna do my outro before this just gets awkward. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Moral of the story: werewolves and elves reign supreme.